can. Don't get this sucker no statue. Give him guts. I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot. Now give me mine.
Why don't you get the hell out of there?
Shut up, old man. I ain't going nowhere. And why don't you tell all these nice folks why you've been ducking me? Politics, man. This country wants to keep me down. Keep everybody weak. They don't want a man like me to have the title because I'm not a puppet like that fool up there.
You know, you've got a big mouth, you know?
Why don't you come out and close it, bad boy? Come on. Come on.
Every time, dog. This guy's crazy. Don't listen to him.
The little man don't want to come to me. Then I'll come to you people and lay out the truth. I am ranked number one. One! That means I'm the best. But this bum is taking the easy matches, fighting other bums. I'm telling you and everybody here, I'll fight him anywhere, anytime, for nothing. But you people ain't never gonna see it happen because he's gonna retire. You see, he don't fight no real man. Get out while you can. Don't get this sucker no statue. Give him guts. I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot. Now give me.
All right, so what's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So what you just saw was an edited over. I think that was Rocky 3. I think it was Rocky 3 with Mr. T and they had but basically Demetrius Andrade did his little edited or whatnot, and he's still calling out Canelo or whatnot. Now, here's the thing, I've stated in many videos, man, I feel like, for whatever reason, Canelo just he's never had any interest in fighting Demetrius Andrade. You hear fans often say, well, Demetrius Andrade hasn't fought anybody, he's trash. And my whole thing when I hear that is like, well, then why don't Canelo just go in there and beat his trash ass then? It's just for whatever reason, bro. Demetrius Andrade has been pushing for a Canelo fight since they fought at 154. Demetrius Andrade has been calling out Canelo since 2014, to be honest. It might have been 2013, and he still has not got that fight. Now, granted, I'll go over the history with Demetrius Andrade, just a brief summary of their little history, and then I'm gonna tell you about what I feel like as far as Demetrius Andrade right now. Well, first and foremost, like I said, Demetrius Andrade at the WBA, they wanted to make a fight with Canelo. From Demetrius Andrade's words, Canelo chose to fight James Kirkland instead of fighting him. But I know for a fact when Demetrius Andrade had the WBO belt at 154, Canelo stated that he wasn't interested in fighting for that belt. Canelo then moved up to 155, and then came back, and Demetrius Andrade was inactive. Just made horrible business decisions or whatnot by rejecting fights with like Charlo and just made horrible business decisions, and so then Demetrius Andrade gets stripped for the WBO. Liam Smith ends up fighting for that title and getting the title. Then Canelo moves down to 154 to fight Liam Smith for that title. At 160, Canelo stated, "Hey, I want to become undisputed at 160." He collected all the belts except for the WBO. Guess who had the WBO? Demetrius Andrade. Canelo then moves up to 168, and here we are now. All right, that's just a brief little summary of what's been going on. Now, here's my opinion though, bro. At this particular time, bro, I really feel like Demetrius Andrade needs to focus on other things, bro. Like, first and foremost, Demetrius Andrade probably has the most shittiest resume out of all the top fighters, bro. A lot of people talk about Charlo, but at least with Charlo, Jamal Charlo, bro, he's been in there with Austin Trout. He's been in there with Julian J. Rock Williams. He's been in there with Sergey Derevchenko. Actually, it's rumored that Demetrius Andrade actually rejected a fight with Sergey Derevchenko somewhere in the midst of Canelo trying to be undisputed at 160. It's something going on like that or whatever. So you have just know the biggest name that Demetrius Andrade has beaten probably would be Vanes Martirosyan, who was a top contender at 154 at one particular time, but nobody's heard from dude since. What, bro? He was inactive even when Triple G fought him and knocked him out back in 2018. You know what I'm saying? So Demetrius Andrade has a very poor resume, and some of that is due to his own. Well, a lot of it is due to his. Well, I'll put it like this: some of it is due to half of it is due to his business decisions, right? He was actually supposed to have a fight with Jamel Charlo on the undercard of Amir Khan versus Devin Alexander in December of 2014, where he pulled out of that fight. All right, he signed with Rock Nation. They couldn't do anything for him. He actually was signed with Eddie Hearn Matchroom and with DAZN, right? And at the particular time when he was signed with DAZN at 160, bro, he had DAZN had all the fighters at 160 except for Jamal Charlo. They had Canelo Alvarez at 160. They had Triple G. They had Billy Joe Saunders. They had who else? They had Danny Jacobs. They had Jaime Munguia. They had all these fighters, right? And Demetrius Andrade couldn't get a fight with none of them, right? Nobody, right? And that's what trips me out when people only talk about Charlo. Bro, Demetrius Andrade, like he couldn't get a fight with none of those guys when they were on the same. And Charlo was signed with PBC. Everybody was saying that Charlo should have moved to the Matchroom, but like Demetrius Andrade didn't get a fight with none of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that him and Danny Jacobs are cool or whatnot, but even those other cats, he was supposed to fight with Billy Joe Saunders. That didn't go through. Billy Joe Saunders tested positive for a banned substance. It's just, bro, it was a lot going on, bro, and Demetrius Andrade was a part of none of that action, bro. And couldn't get any of those fights. So it really sucks, man, because like I said, a part of that was his fault, but then a part of it you have to blame on these fighters just not wanting to fight. He was pushing for Triple G. Triple G just, whatever reason, he was not interested in fighting Demetrius Andrade. Now it's rumored, I will say this though, when Demetrius Andrade pulled out of the Jermell Charlo fight, it's rumored that Al Haymon was so pissed at Demetrius Andrade for doing that. Like Al Haymon basically blackballed Demetrius Andrade, which was why none of the PBC members, like, cause if you guys didn't know, Andrade was also pushing for him and Erislandy Delara used to beef just as much as him and Charlo, and they fought in the amateurs. And that fight never happened. But it's rumored that Al Haymon just basically wanted to blackball Demetrius Andrade from boxing or whatnot. But that's the rumor. I don't know how true that is. So now currently, Demetrius Andrade is signed with Showtime. He just fought January. Now here's the thing though, right? Here's my thing. Demetrius Andrade has been pushing for these fights. He can't get no fights. But I know one fighter that will fight Demetrius Andrade for show. And that, he goes by the name of David Benavidez. Now, the thing is, they wanted to fight Demetrius Andrade, but Demetrius Andrade stated that, hey, this is my first fight at 168. Before I go up to him, let me see what I can do with some of these other guys, which is completely, which in a tune-up fight, which is completely understandable. David Benavidez is not somebody you just want to move up to 168 and just fight off their first time. So I get it, that's understandable. But now, what's the excuse? You had your fight. You got, like, Demetrius Andrade, you at a position where you can't just pick and choose. Like, dog, you got to take what you can get. And if David Benavidez is the only person that's willing to step in there with you, then by all means, you just going to have to step in there and fight David Benavidez, bro. It ain't nobody else left for you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not in a situation, like, you need to forget Canelo, all right? Canelo has showed no interest in fighting you. He's not going to fight you. Put your, you just gonna have to stop calling him out. It was just like with Amir Khan, when Amir Khan was constantly calling out Floyd Mayweather, bro. Like, Amir Khan, like, the man is not gonna fight you, bro. Like, you haven't even done anything at welterweight to warrant people to get Floyd to fight you, bro. And that's the same with Demetrius Andrade. You haven't done anything at 160, 168, hell, even 150. Well, I mean, you had the belts, so I will say that. Let me not say that. I take that back. But at once, you haven't done anything for Canelo to want to fight you, bro. So it's like, bro, stop calling out Canelo, bro. Like, really, seriously, like, call out David Benavidez, bro. If you beat David Benavidez, I promise you will put yourself in a much better position to call out Canelo, bro. I promise you would if you beat David Benavidez, bro. So, like, go focus on these guys, bro. You with Showtime. Like, if Canelo didn't want to fight you when y'all was signed to the same network, bro, what makes you think he's going to want to fight you now that you're with Showtime? You know what I'm saying? Like, just You know, just let that go, bro. You gotta go ahead and let that go, all right? Anyways, man, that's my thoughts on it, bro. Let me know what you guys think about Demetrius Andrade, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you want to see Demetrius Andrade with next? But what do I know?